I start the podcast?
Yes.
Yes, go for it.
Start the podcast.
Start the podcast.
Welcome, everybody, to the third episode, I almost said the fourth episode, of the LuckyCast. Today with me, I've got the usual co-hosts. We've got DaveAce.
Hello. I'm not late today.
And Knuckles Channel 3 and Knuckles.
Wait, so is this episode 3 or 4? You said third or fourth.
It's the third. I said it's not the fourth.
I didn't hear that part. I said
Okay, it's
or the
third.
fourth.
It's the third part. And we also have Lil Boulder, resident funny man and music man and drawing man.
I am pretty funny.
And cool man.
Known for such hits as Sonic Tail.
Don't you I knew it. I knew it. I knew it was coming.
Tail.
Listen,
In Sonic Tail 2.
If you've not subscribed to this man, what are you doing?
Get a load of this guy.
Yeah.
Peer pressure, especially you in the back listening to this podcast, go subscribe to him.
You with your
Subscribe to this
wireless
podcast
headphones
as
with
well.
your wireless
Little Boulder.
batteries.
If you get to the big boulder, you've gone too far.
You gotta get to the little boulder, the big boulder the size of a little boulder.
God, I'm still
So-
getting linked that damn tweet.
I need to ask you a question. On the day of January 27th, 2020, where were you?
On the street.
Blocking
Why?
traffic.
Yeah.
Why were you on the street blocking
I was
traffic?
protesting.
Because you were the
What were you protesting? The fucking snow?
Yeah. I didn't like the way it was looking at me.
Oh, okay. I mean, that.
know,
I'm
I'll
a
be- I'll be
Floridian, I'm
honest
not
too,
used to
you know what?
snow.
You looked out the window and you were like,
you know what?
no way.
Snow, dude.
Why did I agree to be on this?
Dylan,
Because
Because-
Go with the puns.
Well, actually, Dylan sort of forced you on it.
He's also late.
He was
Okay, I was
Dylan
late.
was late.
I was late by 5 minutes because I was holding the puppy. And I didn't want to stop holding the puppy because she's really cute.
Oh, is it because the puppy uses wireless batteries?
Sorry.
Anyway, in less battery-related news,
Before
did you guys
Dylan
hear
quits.
that KFC is making a game console?
They still doing that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool master.
It's like old news.
It's
Pretty
called the
cool.
KF console.
Wow, what a surprise.
Kentucky
And
Fried Console. Let's
this
go.
This fucking thing, it has a compartment in it that heats up your chicken and keeps it warm as you game using the heat that the console generates.
That sounds gross.
It's
I know,
just
like
It's only the
imagine,
best.
imagine like little bits of that chicken. Like imagine that getting into the computer and shorting something.
It just smells like chicken all the time, but
Oh,
it's got an
I said
i9 9th
computer.
gen
I thought-
processor.
Getting in the
got,
computer.
It's got a graphics card of some kind. It
So-
outputs 240 FPS, which is impressive. It's got ray tracing and it's also VR ready in 4K.
What
I'm
they are
sorry.
claiming.
So
What they are
basically-
claiming is that you will be enjoying games at 2K, or not 2K, 4K, 240 FPS.
Yep.
And
And cook
I did a
chicken.
little bit of I did a little bit of digging around on this thing and found out that it actually uses the Intel NUC 9 Extreme Kit, which has a Core i9 9980 HK, can go up to 64 gigabytes of RAM, so you can have that. Cool.
Hell yeah.
Has an NVIDIA RTX 2070 Mini and a Seagate Barracuda NVMe SSD, 1 terabyte.
I'm gonna be honest. I
Never
thought you were
run out.
making an.
Okay.
I thought you were making an Animal Crossing reference.
When?
The Nook.
Oh God.
Get your mind
No,
out of the
that-
gutter.
No, that's what they are. Intel NUCs. They're like little tiny PCs, so it's not really a console. It's
more like a
actually
PC.
Though I have a feeling it's just gonna be a PC running Steam in the big picture mode.
It's also
It
someone
also cooks your
commented-
chicken.
It also does do that.
It keeps it warm. It doesn't.
Someone
It doesn't cook
commented
it.
on it, and it was like, so this is basically just a PC, and KFC replied with, yeah, all gaming consoles are. Or it was like, what do you think the PS5
Ouch.
is?
Not exactly.
I was like,
My
"Not
Switch
really."
is the best PC
I mean,
Yeah,
in
that's
a
just
sense.
false.
I mean, I can just go grab my Super Nintendo. I'm pretty sure that's not a PC.
The thing
It's
runs
a
Linux.
machine. It's a machine made
It
for
runs Linux.
one purpose.
my Switch
PCs
runs
are
Temple
multi-purpose. Yeah, well, you know what? Speaking of the Switch, according to Doug Bowser, the Nintendo Switch is about half at the midpoint of its life cycle.
What?
OS. What?
Oh yeah, that's true.
No
Yeah.
way.
Wow.
And also, he addressed rumors of the Nintendo Switch Pro, and they're not really focusing on it at the moment. They believe that the system has sold more than enough to where they don't really need to focus on a new model of the Switch at this time.
That makes
which
sense, I
completely contradicts the reports from probably a few months ago of Nintendo asking some of the developers to make their games 4K ready. So
I wonder if he's just not ready to comment on it because he doesn't want like their shares or whatever to start skyrocketing now and then plummet when nothing happens.
Either skyrocketing or plummeting, because let's just say if there were to be some kind of Switch Pro, I would prefer it to be more targeted towards getting a higher frame rate out of your games instead of going for higher resolutions, because a lot of Nintendo Switch games, especially third-party games, do not run at 60 FPS.
Yeah, no.
I mean, people
and I'd also much prefer it to have faster load times.
I think the timing of this is pretty coincidental. We're getting into the holiday season, or we're deep into the holiday season. Nintendo not going to want to announce a new Switch model before Christmas.
That's a good point. That's an actual really good point.
They're going to try to keep it as clear as possible that, hey guys, the Switch is alive and well. We're not changing it. Nothing's happening. Make sure to buy it come January. Hey, by the way, there's
flashbacks to the 3DS.
There's a new model, and it'll be around until March 31st.
New model.
Yep, that's it. That's
they all fade out of existence.
Nintendo fucking disappears.
Yeah, Nintendo just Thanos snapped. They're gone.
Your console will explode in your hands.
That'd be awesome. It's like a real gaming experience. You get shot in Doom, and then you just
You know what my favorite
hardcore
and
mode.
you know, since I had one awesome segue, you know what my favorite thing about the next generation of consoles?
Do you mean? I kind of got confused when you said. I forgot that we were in the next generation now.
Not cooked chicken though. It's heated chicken. It doesn't actually cook
it
it
just
for you.
heats your chicken, keeps it warm, I guess.
I guarantee somebody will try to fry an egg on that thing and be
Oh,
like,
for sure.
Why is
For
it everywhere?
sure.
It's like
The Egg Box 360.
It's supposed to heat it, you idiot. So, one of my favorite things about cross-generation gaming is that sometimes you might have a game that is backwards compatible. The Xbox One was really awesome for those who wanted to continue playing their 360 games and their original Xbox games, which I didn't even think they were going to attempt. And
Not at first.
good at them. Yeah, not at first, but good at them for actually giving that a go. Let's talk about Sony, though. Because now they added a little update to the PlayStation 5 OS that'll alert you if you're about to play a PS4 version of a game that you own.
Oh yeah, I did see that.
It only goes if it only pops up if you're about to play the game, not if you're downloading it. Though some people have said that as they were about to download the PS4 version by accident, a pop-up will come up and ask if if you want to download the PS4 version or the PS5 version. So there are reports of that does exist, but not everyone's getting that. And since I was mentioning Xbox, just want to throw out there that Xbox actually has something called Smart Delivery, which if you try to download a game and it seems like if you select that game, it will give you the appropriate platform that you have it for. So if you're about to download it and think that you're going to get an Xbox One version of that game, you'll get the Series X version if you own it.
It's kind of crazy because the PlayStation Vita and I believe the PS4, when you're looking through the store, it shows you the platform of the game that you're looking at, and it shows you everything it's available for. So, like, for example, when I was looking for things on my Vita, I saw that Oddworld New and Tasty was listed in the store, and I didn't know if it was for Vita. But after I looked into it, apparently it's actually cross-buy as well, so I think I have it free, even though I didn't buy it on Vita.
Yeah, some games used to do that, which
you know, it's got
very
like
cool.
the things up top where it says PS4 and PS Vita, but I guess now they're trying to, I don't know, maybe they don't care about that as much because if you buy a PS4 copy by mistake, then you're not able to refund it or something, and
or if you have a PS4 version and you have like a deluxe edition and it's like, oh, you get the free upgrade to, or not a free upgrade, but you also get an upgraded PS5 version since, you know, instead of buying 2 copies for $60 each. So that's kind of cool. But it is funny that they used to have it on like the top corner, and it seems like people don't pay attention to that now. If they have to have a pop-up come up and say, hey, you're about to download the PS4 version. Do you want the PS5 version?
hey, stop, wait, hold on!
Hey, stupid, buy the PS5 version. You got the console.
Hey, idiot.
This is gonna be great for the person, whoever is editing this video, because I'm still recording it on my end. But yeah, my headphones just broke.
Oh no.
They broke? What do you mean?
Yeah, the part of the left side just like fell out.
Oh,
Oh,
crap.
that's fun.
Well, it's okay since it's all separate audio tracks. There doesn't have to be any extra noise.
Yeah, this podcast is cursed.
That's all because Dylan was late.
It's
all
not.
because
It's
of it.
not.
All because he was late.
It's not because I was late. I told you I wasn't late, and I
I
don't
was hanging
lie.
out. I was hanging out with Dylan the other day, and he told me, "Hey, Boulder, I'm never late with anything."
I did
Now.
say that. You're right.
Let's go from being late
And
to
it's still
something
true.
that came out a little early, unfortunately.
Ooh, cyberpunk, huh?
Cyberpunk
Oh, I can talk about
2077.
this one.
Yeah, Jared, go for it.
Go for
Cyberpunk
it.
2077 was people will say that game has been in development for a long time. I think it was like what 2013 or so.
It's been a while, yeah.
But in actuality, the game was planned in 2013, and development was about 4 years or so. Which is that's still a significant amount of time to be developing your video game. But I have never seen, between all the crunching, all the delays, I have never seen a video game go from one of the most highly anticipated titles of the decade to, within 1 week of release, being pulled from the PlayStation Store, offered official refunds from PlayStation
And Microsoft.
and Microsoft, and
'Cause they had
generally
nothing to do with the
hated by-
development. They were like, nope, do
Yeah,
not
it's
listen.
just like, we're not
We
part
don't
of
need-
this.
Really
anything.
incredible how
They were
We're
like,
not part of this.
you're not shoving this. We're not sharing this blame. This is
I
your
was
fault.
not somebody who was, particularly excited for Cyberpunk. I was curious about it, and it would come up until release. I was like, you know what? I think I'll give it a shot. It looks fun. I'm down for an open world Cyberpunk inspired game.
Yeah,
So
let's
I
go.
got it on opening night. I got it on the night that it came out. And yeah, it plays like a newly released Bethesda game. It's buggy, it's hollow, it controls poorly.
Sounds like
it's
Fallout
everything.
76.
Yeah, it's everything that the game said it wasn't. Like, this city is alive. NPCs have their own schedules. They don't. These are the most soulless, lifeless NPCs I've ever seen in my life.
Dude, Majora's
Ouch.
Mask had a schedule, and that was on the N64.
Exactly.
Come on, game
is-
designers.
It is a
What?
huge shame.
It took you
because
7 years.
CD Projekt Red, I believe, said at one point that they would not be under any crunch to finish this game, and then in the last couple months, were under a huge crunch, working 6 hours a day on this thing.
Yeah.
They also
Really?
blatantly misled everybody. They refused to show any footage from the console versions of the game up until release.
Or like the
And
last
they
gen
knew.
console ones.
They
Yeah,
knew.
apparently the last gen versions did not receive as much work on it as the current gen versions, PS5 and Xbox
apparently-
Series X.
have some stank on them if you've seen.
Yeah,
the
apparently they didn't even pass like certification, like Sony's certification.
Yeah.
Like they were not
Oh,
ready
man.
to be shipped, but CD Projekt Red had promised a day one patch, and Sony was like, oh, "Well, all right, just make sure you have that ready, and we're good to go."
Excuse me, do you have enough to share with the class?
Yeah, it's like, well, I will tomorrow. It's like, okay, then just come in tomorrow, and then you don't show up tomorrow.
Yeah. You just
It's like it's one of those things where it's like it's such a shame to see this happen, because I
Yeah.
was hoping that this game would come out and it would just be like the biggest thing, and to hear all this positive news on a year that's been pretty shit. But man, it's just a shame, you know.
Yeah.
Hopefully
It is.
CD Projekt, hopefully the company can recover from this. I hope they do, because I would love to see a more polished version of this game actually do well. It
Yeah.
just seems like, I think at this point, this game now is going to have that reputation with it going forward, even
Oh,
if
yeah.
it's like a few years later. Like,
It's like
you're
No
never
Man's
going to
Sky.
escape that. Exactly, like No Man's Sky,
Yeah.
where they promised all of these things and the game was pretty
It's
bare bones.
lackluster. And then like years after it came out originally, it wins an award at the Game Awards.
I know, right?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
It's like, hold
Yeah.
on.
Really, No Man's Sky has been doing really well.
Oh yeah,
I'm
no, they've been
interested in
doing
it now. Like,
fantastic.
I want
it
to play
looks
the
like.
VR mode and check it out some more.
It just seems like it's one of those things where I think they could have waited a little bit longer. They didn't have to go under crunch, because when you yeah, sure, sometimes when you're in a crunch, like, you're kind of like trying to get all this stuff done fast, but you ignore the quality, like, you ignore like testing the game for like any kind of issues or something like that, or QA kind of just goes down the drain sometimes in this game's case. Yeah. So I think trying to work 6 days a week just to get this thing out by the end of the year might not have been the best idea. And I understand it was like this big old joke of like, oh, they're delaying it again, they're delaying it again, they're delaying it again, while other people were saying, give me my damn game already.
Yeah, maybe because it needed it.
It definitely needed it.
It needed like another year in development.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm saying this in hindsight, but the people who were really bitching and moaning over wanting this game, now you know what happens when you want it so badly, but when you get it,
that's not going to change anything.
When you want
it's
it
not
so
going to change
badly,
anything. People will still be.
The company. It's like, chill out. It's a video game.
People are still going to be mad, no matter what.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where it's like, if it's got to be delayed, then so be it.
I've never played The Witcher 3, but apparently it also had some performance issues when it first launched, and it took a little while before it became like everyone's game of the year.
Yeah, like, that game is like super popular. I hear like whenever people mention The Witcher, they talk about Witcher 3.
I'm sorry.
And I wasn't around for the launch of it. I haven't even
Boulder
played it. My
cursed
only experience with The Witcher
Where
is
were you?
playing the quest in Monster Hunter World.
You weren't around?
Yeah. I was knee deep in
He was on the side of the road.
He was on the side of the road.
Blocking traffic because he was pissed off at the snow.
Wireless batteries.
Wireless.
I'm taking the heat off of myself.
That's how he throws the shade off of
Taking the heat off myself, yeah.
Speaking of Madden,
Throws the-
Dave, what were you talking about Galactic Federation stuff? What were you doing?
Oh my god.
The Galactic. Let me start with the Galactic Federation real quick.
Yeah, because
let's
you're
go
like
for that.
crazy about this.
This is.
Oh my god.
To me, it's not that big a deal. I mean,
Yeah,
but
it's
to
not that
Dylan,
big a
it
deal.
seems
Yeah,
to
okay.
be.
Yeah, it's
No,
so Galactic
I
Federation.
don't see that being that big of a deal.
Just to let everyone know this was as the very moment that we finished recording the last podcast,
Yeah.
I go on Twitter and see one of the things trending was Galactic Federation, and Dylan freaks the fuck out. Go ahead.
Me and Frank are just like, oh, that's cool, I guess.
just
Dylan's
having
over here losing his
existential crisis.
mind.
Like actually, I sent like so many messages to people. I don't know why it hit me so hard because I was just like, wow, the news is reporting this, and I was like, well, but what if it's real? Like,
He was having an existential crisis and a panic attack at the same time.
Yeah.
I was like, how the fuck do you do this?
I was just
Dylan,
like,
it's
guys,
all right. Calm down. Okay?
Breathe.
So basically, what happened was, what was it? So it was the former head of the space program. Was it
Israel.
Iran?
It was like Israel or
Or
something like that, or
Israel?
Iran, or
Yeah.
I'm gonna find out which one it was and make
No, it
sure
was
that's the
Israel.
only take that's in the episode. But it's
Yeah, let's spread false information, right?
so basically that person went on record saying that there was a galactic federation of aliens that had been in contact with both, I think it was Israel and the United States for the last 30 years, and for one thing, the idea of that is like, obviously that's stupid, it's not real. But like, it's the former head of the space program, and the news outlets are reporting it, and I was like, yeah, but what if? I was like, on one hand, that's good, because that means we have a peaceful relationship and we're not going to be killed. But also, that means that the entire world is way different than we think it is. Which is what was fucking me up.
I mean,
it's like,
I
what
still
else
believe,
is wrong? What
I
else have
still
they been
believe
lying
that
to
there
us
was
about?
something else out there, because like, you got this big space. It's called space.
It's just us, Dave. That's it.
You really
big
thought it
space
was
called-
just
some people
us?
consider it the final frontier.
Yeah.
You really think it's just us out here?
Yeah.
No, man. You guys have never seen the Lilat system?
Fox is
Planet
coming.
Popstar.
Star Fox is
Made
coming.
popular in Lilac Wars.
Yeah, Planet Popstar. We've been knowing there's stuff
Holy
out there.
shit, though, what if you went to the Galactic Federation base and the doors opened and through
Galactic
the
Federation
steam,
Force.
just fucking Star Fox walks through and he's like, come
But-
on!
The thing that I found funny, because this is the whole reason we brought it up,
Planet Zebus.
is today I was scrolling through Twitter and IGN posted an article.
IGN.
IGN,
Great.
and it was reporting from an NY Post, the New York Post, that NASA supposedly did some research, and that if intelligent life is likely to exist, they likely destroyed themselves because of being too intelligent.
You sure they weren't just reporting on Alienware?
I'm sure. I'm sure.
Well, let's go from intelligent to the complete opposite. I am the king of segues today.
Wait, I have one more thing to say about that before you
Okay,
segue
fine.
away. If they're like, hey, intelligent life destroys itself, is that what we're doing right now on planet Earth?
Yeah, but technically,
I mean, yeah.
if artificial
here's
intelligence
the thing,
keeps
we haven't
advancing, if artificial intelligence keeps advancing, yeah, we're gonna eventually kill ourselves.
Wait, no, I mean artificial intelligence would destroy itself. Apparently, we're too stupid.
That's a good point.
It's not artificial.
I mean, I
intelligence,
guess.
though,
We're still
I
here.
guess. It's global warming and all that.
We're
That
artificially
too.
stupid.
Artificially stupid.
What if you're just walking into the Galactic
I would have believed that like
Federation
10 years
office?
ago. I think now at this point we're kind of just devolving.
What if you were walking into the Galactic Federation
Yeah, it does
office
feel like we're
and-
devolving. I mean, people.
Can we call it the Galactic Federation Force?
Didn't people on TikTok a while back try to get high off of Benadryl?
How do you get high off of Benadryl? It makes you sleep.
Apparently, if you overdose,
Yeah, don't do that.
yeah, no.
That'd be stupid.
Don't abuse
There,
medications.
I think it was called. I think it was called the Benadryl challenge, and there was like a certain amount of pills that you can take, and then it'll give you the
I'm gone.
high, and then like
done.
people were overdosing on TikTok. I was just like, oh my gosh.
TikTok?
All right, I'm gonna go delete my account
What
now.
the fuck? Jared, what were you saying about the Galactic Federation? I wanted to hear it. Say your words.
I like how you laugh.
Cause like that tangent was like a while ago, and I just abandoned it. I was like, you know what? I'll let it go.
No, I want to hear it. Say it.
And then Dylan's like, no, wait, no, bring it back.
Bring it back. Bring
Bring
it
it
back now,
back.
y'all.
It's not
Two hops this time.
okay, but what if you were walking up to the Galactic Federation office doors? And
Yeah.
the closer you got, the more you just heard green greens from Kirby. Until eventually you open the
That'd be
door
sick.
and you're greeted with wispy woods, surrounded by scientists and all these like devices. And he looks sad because they're tying him down and they're experimenting
Nintendo
on
knew.
him.
No.
They discovered
Nintendo knew.
They discovered sentient life and uprooted it and brought it back.
It's just the what he's at the single tier from like when you beat him.
Yeah, and the scientists can't figure out why apples keep showing up from above.
All these famous video game characters are based off of actual aliens that we have trapped somewhere.
There's a really good webcomic called Scoob and Shag that started out as a just like a really like memey comic about Scooby and Shaggy just doing stupid shit. But it's since turned into this crazy, amazing adventure where it's like all cartoon characters are aliens and their shows were sent to Earth and like agreed on to be published on Earth to like provide them with like energy or something. And it is one of the fucking coolest things in the world because it takes like a ton of different cartoon characters and just makes them really badass. Check that out on like what's that? There's like a webcomic app or something. It's like
Shonen Jump.
no. It's
I wouldn't know.
I legitimately thought you were gonna start talking about Captain N,
Yeah.
The Game Master.
the Game Master.
it's the webcomic app is I don't know apparently.
Cool.
Or the web series that was kind of that was inspired by Captain N, Captain S.
The Snake
Webtoon.
Master.
It was Webtoon. That's what it's on.
Webtoon.
Webtoon, isn't that like a game you need to ask your parents permission for?
I was gonna
Yeah,
say it's
please ask permission for reading this comic.
All right, so
okay,
we were gonna
so anything
segue.
That so you guys remember? I don't know if you guys know about this indie game called Fortnite.
Nah.
No, I've
Anybody
never
hear of it?
Nah.
No. Okay. Remember when they were kicked off the Apple and Google Play stores?
Oh, do I?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, they've been sending some influencers Fortnite branded merch related to that whole campaign that they had. And let's just say that, well, actually, yeah, that's been the whole thing. They've been getting influencers like different like merch and stuff that's related to it. And a Samsung Galaxy S7 tablet explaining like how it's like the biggest, or how it was like one of the bigger games, and unfortunately it's not on these platforms, but it's on Samsung platforms now. It's like, it seems to be extremely petty just to try to rally people up for this whole movement that I'm gonna just say it's a lost cause.
I
Just
don't know, man.
hate
I'm
it.
still
Yeah.
waiting for my Samsung.
Pay that 30% Fortnite or Epic.
I mean, you're not really. I mean, I get it. I do. I mean, Apple App Store and the Google Play Store are the two major mobile markets right now. It does feel like there's a monopoly there. I see what they're trying to do, but you got more than enough money. You could cover the 30%.
Yeah,
Well,
it's not gonna hurt.
I think
Yeah,
Monopoly is actually on both the Apple Store and Google Play
Yeah, it
Store.
is.
Yes. The Monopoly game is on both Apple and Apple iOS
Sorry, continue.
and Google Android.
30% is a bit like.
It's a bit much, but like
it's
for
much,
for
like-
like
sure.
for them, it's like
Yeah.
what?
Like
It's one of the,
I don't think
Yeah.
I don't think it's more so that they can't pay it. More so that
they don't want to.
They don't want
They don't
to,
want to, and
yeah.
they're big enough to make a statement about it.
Yo, it's
Yeah,
not like
I
the
mean-
45% cut that YouTube takes out of all our channels.
It's
Fuck you guys.
not.
Oh man, we are so kicked out of the AdSense program.
This channel's not tethered to the AdSense program. What are they gonna
they're
fucking
just
do?
they're gonna find us.
Dude,
They're gonna find us.
This, for all intents and purposes, it's a different Gmail account. Doesn't matter.
They're gonna
It
find my
doesn't
DistroKid.
matter.
They're gonna find my Spotify. They're gonna find my.
They're gonna shut us down. They're gonna
Taking
shut
me
us
off the
down
waves.
internally.
They're removing the music from your mind. You don't even remember that you made it.
It's okay. I already don't remember that I made it.
Oh man.
So then, I'll just hit up two really quick stories
Yeah, charge
because
my wireless battery.
because I found them. None of them require wireless batteries, so we're good.
Shut up and talk about your stories.
I was worried for a second.
All right, fine. Don't make me late about this, okay?
I'm gonna leave.
You won't. Yeah.
You're right. I won't leave.
So, anybody remember Halo? Halo 3, Halo
No.
Reach, Halo 4, stuff on Xbox 360.
That's Santa
Yes.
Claus singing the main theme.
Ho 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 ho.
Well, we're gonna have to pour one out for the 360 games because at the end of 2021, a lot of the older Halo servers, this is like the Halo Legacy stuff.
Yeah.
Like I said, Halo 3, Halo 3 ODST,
Halo.
Combat Evolved, Combat Evolved Anniversary,
Halo.
Halo 4, Spartan Assault, and Halo Wars. Those servers will all be going down at the end of next year.
Oh man,
Aye.
that's so many memories just getting killed right there.
Yeah.
They have the new collection, don't they?
Yeah,
Yes,
but I played that like
that's
once.
That's the reason why,
Well, that's on you.
because they want to prioritize their resources,
Claymore.
and they have that collection that's out. So,
Yeah.
would you want to support the old legacy games that
Yes.
are on platforms that are now two generations old, or support the new release, the new versions of these games?
I don't
Those
even
ones
think
were
those
made by
consoles-
Bungie, and that's back when they were good, because the ones
I don't
made by
even think
343
those-
aren't good anymore.
Those consoles aren't even being made.
So I still have
Exactly.
2 of them.
Just because you have two of them doesn't
That
mean they're not
doesn't-
being made.
It doesn't matter. I don't need them to be made. I got 2.
Nobody
Okay,
panic. Dylan has 2 of them.
Better have enough wireless batteries to.
Do you have enough to
power
share
those
with the
controllers.
class?
Yes, I do. Dylan said wireless batteries before the podcast, and we all laughed at him.
It's true, we do.
I hate you.
Me too.
I'm bullying him
and-
because he bullied me last night in Among Us.
I didn't bully you. It was.
Yes, you did!
funny. It was
Don't you
just funny.
start with me.
It was just
And
funny.
Okay, children, please.
Children, please.
Did you know that there was an unreleased
Did you
Simpson
know?
tech demo on Sega Dreamcast?
Did you know?
Not until yesterday.
Well, there was a tech demo for some Simpsons game that it didn't have an actual name for it. That was found in a Dreamcast dev kit, and it contained a playable build that was mostly there. You play as like the small bug. Some people were saying it was like based on that Halloween episode where Bart turned into a bug. So you were basically playing as the small bug going around Evergreen Terrace. A lot of the files date back to 2000, and it was believed that this was a tech demo to show off the Toon engine, which was a graphics engine to show off cell shading on the Dreamcast. And I saw a couple of the screenshots from it, and it actually looked really cool. So it's a shame that something like this didn't get made into an actual game, because it seems like the cell shading from that would have really fit the characters, because again, it's an animated show, so it makes the most sense instead of having weird looking 3D in the Simpsons Hit and Run.
Yeah, I always kind of thought those
Yeah.
models looked a little weird in Hit and Run, but that is a very good game still. That was like
Very,
a really cool game.
very like realistic shading and lighting and all that with cartoon characters. I never understood why developers would go for something like that when cell shading has been a thing for a while, and it looks
Yeah.
great.
A lot of the games that are based on like anime, that seems to be what they go for, and it works really well for them.
It's going well. It's going well now.
Hey, like Jump Force.
Uh,
That looks cool.
Well,
It's spelled
the
cool
char-
like.
Okay then.
Spell it like that all the time.
So anyway, segue.
for the record, I agree with him. That game looks like shit.
And now back to our question about. There's no good segue for this one.
Yeah.
Back to our question about. What were you mad about the snow? Huh? Why were you mad at that snow?
Because
Oh.
it never visits.
Never
Why
was-
visits.
Did
that's
you
true.
interview? Did you interview the sheriff that found you?
Yes.
Oh really? How?
We're gonna have to
how
put
was it
that
like?
tweet up on screen so people aren't like, what the fuck are they talking about?
Yeah.
The sheriff looked me dead in the eye, said it's not my problem, and then walked away.
He looked you dead in the eye and said, "This is a large boulder the size of a small boulder."
And I was really offended. I felt
Pebble.
personally
I get
attacked. I had just come out to have a good time.
Speaking of personally attacking you, are you ready to answer some questions?
I got questions to answer.
Yeah.
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 I want to know what was the thought process behind
Don't you dare.
Sonic Tail.
Yeah, there it is. There it is.
Actually, yeah. I had to hit the easy one.
There it is. Wait, do you actually want an answer?
No, I
No, I
didn't.
think that
I was
was a
hoping.
joke.
I was waiting for Dylan to say something.
Oh, I
Yeah,
thought
I
you were
said-
actually expecting an answer. I was like, okay,
No.
that's a
I
bad
should
break
probably-
to start on.
Should probably explain what we're doing.
Okay. So
We're
basically,
interrogating him.
When we have guests, we're going to interrogate them
Hello.
for answers that we want to.
So
just wanna know
you
answers.
say, I saw you vent.
OMG.
Where's the body?
Okay, this probably isn't funny anymore.
In my defense,
Yeah, it's pretty cringe.
He slipped on a banana.
Slipped on him.
All right. So, in terms of real questions, so you're a music and art man.
Yeah, I am a musician. I self-taught, completely self-taught. I've never had professional experience or teachings. Everything I learned was either from experimenting myself or from one of the many, many YouTube videos that you can find online to help you with your music making needs.
All right. So like.
And of course, our sponsor, Lynda.com,
Lynda.com. What the fuck is that?
It's a
where you can
website-
learn how to do many different things, especially
use Skillshare.
making music.
Use Skillshare.com/Garrula64. That's what we use here.
Make sure to subscribe
will they
to Lil
share,
Boulder
will
at
they share
YouTube.
how
Wait,
to
wait,
use
wait,
wireless
hold
batteries?
on. We have competing sponsors
Uh-oh.
on the same episode.
I'm gonna beat you up. Frank could kill me in 5 seconds. I guarantee it.
Technically speaking, anybody could kill you in 5 seconds.
That is
Wow. Wow.
with wireless batteries. Okay.
true. Stop.
on
All right.
with the
All right.
interview.
Anyway, the question, Jared.
Hey,
What is like the earliest thing that you can remember that like that made you want to like draw something and like get better at it, or like make a song and keep going with that? Like, do you have any recollection of like the earliest thing that really started it?
yes. Well, first of all, hi, my name is Jared. That's my actual name. I don't think we clarified that.
I don't know if I've said it at all. I mean, like they know our
I don't think
names.
anybody.
Yeah.
I don't think any of us said that, but there we
Yeah.
go.
That's Lil Boulder, aka Jared. I am
That's
not a
him.
professional though, so please don't.
Apparently, can be mistaken for a large boulder. So
Yeah.
carry
Yeah.
on.
Apparently. So well, when it comes to art, I started drawing whenever I was a kid. My very first art I remember clearly was Mario riding Yoshi, because I was playing a lot of Mario World as a young kid. In
Big
my
Sonic fan.
yeah, it's true. So yeah, my first art was actually Mario, and with arts, it's standard stuff. I just started drawing because it was fun, and my brother was an artist too, and I always sort of lived under his shadow in a way, because he was always one step ahead of me, because he was the older one, and he had more experience, more talent, and I was still getting there. So every time it came to us, like he's drawing something for my mom's birthday, I'm drawing something for my mom's birthday, everyone's like, oh, this is such a great artwork, Damien, you made a great art. And then they look at mine, it's like, oh, this is cute too. I was like, oh, that's all I got.
Oh.
So for a large part of my life, creativity was a sort of had this feeling of needing to prove myself.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess to that end, when it came to arts, I was always really, really critical of my arts. And for a lot of my life, it was hard. Drawing was kind of misery because I was just always judging myself, always being super harsh on myself. But nowadays, I've kind of just realized, like, it is what it is, as my mom would love to say. It's her favorite quote ever. That,
It is what it is.
when you draw, you just there's no other person like you. Just draw what you want to draw how you want to draw, and people aren't here to look at you imitating someone else. People are here to look at you. So whenever you're drawing, just draw. Like, I was thinking way too much about it. So, but back onto the actual question, like what motivated me with music. It's actually a video game. The game that got me inspired and started to making music was Marvel vs. Capcom 3, The Fate of Two Worlds.
Really?
Because that game has really, really good character themes. I absolutely love those character themes in that game, which is why Marvel Infinite is so disappointing to me. Because 3 inspired me to make music. Like, that's why I'm here, because of that game. My brother and I were really creative kids. We had our own characters, our own stories that we made up and all that stuff.
Your OCs.
So, yeah, our own OCs and all that. So,
Do they have the power of God in anime?
Yes.
Oh, I just had the power of God.
Oh.
They never gave me the power of anime.
Okay.
But,
Anime is a sin.
Shh! Can't say that. Can't say the truth. I'm not one to talk. I play Genshin Impact.
I watched lots of it.
It's okay. I played it too.
I'm a sinner.
So yeah, I played Marvel 3. They had a bunch of amazing character themes. So I thought, what if our characters had their own themes? That'd be cool. But then I couldn't find anything online that was, matching the characters we made. I was like, no, this doesn't quite sound like this person. In fact, my name Boulder is loosely related to a character called Boulder the Dragon that we used to have.
Not a Spyro OC, if I remember
Not a
correctly.
Spyro OC, no. Just a big fat dragon. And that was his gimmick. Like, the whole thing about him was like he was this big burly fat dragon, and people kept calling him fat.
Oh. Don't
But he was
fat
a cool-
shame Boulder the Dragon.
Don't fat shame Boulder the Dragon. But yeah, that's loosely where my name came from. I'm not a dragon. I'm also not fat, coincidentally. But yeah, it's that. Like, we had a bunch of characters that I wanted to create theme songs for. I couldn't find anything online that really worked, so I thought I'll just make it myself. I'll take my.
Yeah.
I got the Thanos glove, and I said, fine, I'll do it myself.
Fine, I'll do it myself.
It's
So
a
I just,
Thanos glove.
So the Thanos glove.
His glove.
The Infinity
the
Gauntlet.
titular Thanos' glove.
The Infinity
The
Gauntlet. Yeah, that
Infinity
thing.
glove.
The
Yeah,
Thanos
that
glove.
thing.
It's like Dragon Ball Z when you have the sword. It's called the Trunk Sword.
Yeah.
Or
You
the
need to plug
Z
it in
sword.
with. You need to charge it with.
Oh, the
wireless
Gohan
batteries.
sword.
Charge the Thanos glove with wireless batteries.
I'll never get away from this. It's gonna be my life now.
But yeah, I just looked it up online. I was like, how do I make music? And I found FL Studio. It's just, it was the DAW, Digital Audio Workstation, that I started with. And it's the only one that I've used. I've dabbled a little bit in Ableton, but that's mostly for vocal stuff. But aside from that, it's pretty much all FL Studio. So yeah, my inspiration was it's getting a little long-winded. My inspiration was mostly just from video games, you could say, and wanting to create my own creative theme songs for characters that I thought of.
Hey, be as long-winded as you want with your answers. It's all about you right now, homie.
I feel so
It's all
special.
about you, Boulder.
It's all about you.
Unlucky Cast. Third episode.
That's just it. Unlucky cast.
Okay, well, anyone else have a question?
Oh, I thought you had like a list of questions.
Yeah, I was
I'm
waiting
gonna
for
ask
it.
them all at the same time. Like, if anyone else has something to do.
No, I don't. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
Do
Dave
you have
doesn't
any
care.
questions for our good friend?
Dave knows everything. he
You were
needs to know.
late, so
Yeah,
That
Dave-
doesn't have
Dave-
anything to do with this. Frank, you have any questions?
What would be the most? What was the most difficult piece of music you put together,
Oh,
or
Jesus.
in
That's
remix,
a
or
good one.
original? Like, what would you consider to be the most difficult one?
I actually have an
we
answer for this one.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Go for it.
I have
Sonic Tail because you could feel the sins crawling up your spine.
No, I live with those sins, man. I've long made peace with that.
That's good.
It's related though. It was I made a cover of DA Games, Gospel of Dismay. I called it Gospel of Dismay and Knuckles because I'm creative.
Yeah.
And it was a Genesis cover.
That's
and
awesome.
I wanted to pull my hair out while working on it because that song is a nightmare to transcribe. And a lot of people don't really realize this. At some point, I was accused of MIDI swapping, which is like, take a MIDI, a pre-made MIDI that someone else made, you slap it into your DAW, and then you call it a day. You change the instruments up a little bit, and that's just it. Cool, work done. Mm-hmm. But what a lot of people don't realize is, for a majority of my stuff, I do it by ear. I transcribe it myself. I don't actually use MIDIs that as often, especially nowadays. I definitely don't use MIDIs as often.
Damn, the talent on this man.
Yeah, I don't even think MIDIs are inherently bad. I think they're a really solid tool for musicians that are starting out and all that.
Yeah.
But yeah, with that song, it was a nightmare to transcribe because there were third notes all over the place. Everything is on beat except for these third notes, which just happen to be all over the place. The audio is, I don't want to put any shade on DA Games. He's a fantastic content creator. Not mixed super well. So it's hard to make out what certain instruments are doing or sounding like. So transcribing, especially like the bass and the trumpets and all that, it was just a pain. I had to turn my audio up super loud. I was getting frustrated because the notes I just couldn't get these notes to match up with where they were in the song. Everything was off key, everything was off beat. It took forever. And then by the time I was done with it, I was like, I could add some more stuff to make it a little more interesting. But fuck it. I'm publishing this, and I'm never looking at it again.
I feel.
How did it do after all that?
Yeah.
I think we can relate to that. We have some project, some video we work on, and it's like, this thing is finally done. You know what? Fuck it. It's up,
put
right?
it out.
It's ready.
Just
it's ready.
put it
I'm not
out.
doing anything more to this.
Yeah, that was when I was editing the Paper Mario video I made a while back. It was like a 46-minute video, I think. And
Good video.
Thank you. I loved that one a lot because it was very personal and it came from the heart a lot. But that video, it took fucking forever. It took me 8 hours of straight work to finish editing it. And then by the time I finished it, I was like, this is not as well edited as any of the other videos because I did it myself. So I could probably go back and do more. But the thought was, hey, not a lot of people are gonna watch this because it's not Sonic related, and also I'm fucking exhausted. I need to render this overnight and be done with it. So I did, and when I woke up in the morning, it had crashed my computer in the middle of rendering.
Oh gosh, that
So I
sucks.
had to. It sucked ass. I hated that day. But then, I'm happy with how that video did for the most part.
The only video I remember that was like that, where it took me forever to make, was the Spyro 3 review that I did.
Coincidentally also involves me.
But, I was, it was the day before it's supposed to go out, and I had just got the lines in for Ace, and I was like, you know what, it's like 4 p.m. I'm sure I could hammer this out. Fast forward to 2 a.m., 3 a.m., I'm getting ready to render it and go to bed. I was exhausted.
Yeah, it's a good way to describe this kind of scenario. It's just exhausted. Sometimes we don't know when to stop working.
I finished it, I put the outro in, I was like, it's done.
It is finished.
Finally.
I've had that kind of feeling with the Sonic 3 without defeating a Badnik video, only because up until that point, the most I've ever did any kind of scripted video, I think, was roughly 15 minutes, and that was nearly 30 minutes, so that was a much bigger video than I ever thought it was gonna be. And by the end of it, I was like, I'm done. I'm finished. It's all done. It's gonna go up. I'm gonna sleep and pass out for a couple days. That's how I felt. I legitimately could have fallen asleep for a few days. It's like, the video's done. It's up.
Gross.
It's crazy the amount of work we put ourselves through just because. Just
because, well, I mean, it's fun at the end of the day.
Yeah, it's like, for the most part we enjoy it, but every now and then there's that one project that just, what she said.
Bless you.
What she said just makes me go, ah!
It's a good point, I guess.
And,
Right, what
I mean,
about,
you're still
like,
gonna gain something from it either way. If it doesn't perform well, you gain the experience.
Yeah, it's always something that could be a takeaway from it. And speaking of takeaways and segues, on the exact opposite end of the spectrum, do you have a song or hell, song and art that you like is your absolute favorite, like out of everything you've ever done?
Oof. That's a tough one. I think what's an interesting thing to note, and I'm sure this is like for any other content creator, this makes sense. Maybe not so much for people who aren't familiar with that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But it just so happens that a lot of the ones that I'm most proud of end up being my least popular ones.
I feel that.
Because, you know,
Yeah,
it's
it
the
works
ones
the same
where
with videos.
yeah, it's the ones where you try to experiment and really get out of your comfort zone, but it's not what your viewers are used to, so they don't really give it a chance or check it out.
Yeah, that hurts.
There's a lot of noise going on in the background right now.
It's
Thank you.
okay.
It's not okay. I'm gonna cry.
No, don't do that.
Don't do that. Christmas
Not
is
on
2
the
days away.
podcast, please.
Yeah.
Luckily, I'm recording my answer. I'll just cut it out.
I can. You don't need to edit anything. I'll edit all of it. It's fine.
Yeah, just make Dylan do all the work because he was late.
I already do all the work. I'm the one who
Wireless
edits.
he does.
batteries.
They still abuse me verbally for like imagine that.
Well, imagine
pitch
this.
both of
I
your voices
asked
up
the
and
other
down
day.
and put
I
reverb on
asked
'em
the
so you
other.
sound stupid.
I asked like a week ago
Imagine being late.
if you needed me to edit this podcast, and you didn't reply. So
I said no. I didn't need your help.
Yeah,
That's kind of
okay.
sus.
Right?
That's a little sus.
I responded to you.
Brother's cap.
I didn't see a response.
Well, I responded because I've never leave you hanging.
Yeah, he doesn't lie.
I don't lie.
He doesn't lie.
You
Never.
know what I was gonna say. I legitimately thought that you were gonna say something like Ghost Town, because I was like, oh, that's the one on Spin-3. Yeah.
Nah.
That one's a banger.
That one's some fun trivia about that one. A lot of people compliment me on the guitar sound in that one, and in barf 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 barf.
Very realistic.
Yeah.
Just going
your
at it
dog
with that
play the
soundboard.
bass?
Dog samples for the next song.
Yeah. But yeah, a lot of people compliment me for the guitars on that like block of videos I did. Most of them like the early Sonic Forces ones, and especially the Mirage Saloons. Like, oh, this guitar sounds really like good. It sounds really authentic and stuff. The funny thing is, those guitars are glitched. It's not supposed to sound like that. They actually are super messed up because for some reason the VST I was using at the time was just messed up. Like for some reason, whenever I would have it play for a certain amount of time, the sound quality would just like drastically lower itself. I don't know why that was. I couldn't figure it out. I finally figured it out, but by then it was too late because I had already moved on to a different VST. But yeah, those guitars sound way worse than they initially did.
It's a unique sound.
See, and when
Apparently.
you're someone like me who couldn't tell the difference.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Crazy.
you just
So-
shattered my world.
So it worked out in some weird way, but like it's just hilarious to me in the back of my mind that I can remember that sounded a lot better actually before it went.
I still like them a lot. They're very good.
Appreciate that. But as far as music that I'm really proud of, like I said, most of it's the more obscure ones, but I'm still very fond of the Marnie song I did, which was I believe it was like a year ago. My
Yeah,
Marnie
it's been a
remix for
while.
Pokemon. I think that one sounds really nice. I'm really happy because I did branch out of my comfort zone a bit with that one. And you know, the other ones that I'm really happy with are the vocal ones, the ones that I collaborated with other artists, like Rayo. He's a fantastic musician, fantastic vocalist, and Mickey Mouse, who is also a fantastic vocalist. I haven't worked with her since the Doki Doki Literature Club songs, but she's doing really well. She's fantastic.
I thought you said Mickey Mouse. I was like,
I heard that
oh
too.
boy.
It is
I was
Mickey
like,
Mouse.
yeah, he's a pretty good vocalist.
It is
alright.
Mickey Mouse.
Wait,
That's
Oh,
her
you
name.
did say Mickey Mouse?
Yeah.
are
Huh.
you saying
Is that-
Nicky Mouse or Mickey?
No,
No,
Mickey.
Mickey
Mickey Mouse.
Oh, she
She's
just
an
goes by Mickey Mouse?
She's Australian, so the time zones whenever we would interact to get this collaboration going were a nightmare.
Oh, I feel that.
But it was good. It was nice. So yeah, I'd say Marnie and some of my Persona 5 stuff. It's hard to choose, like
Hell
choosing
yeah.
one of your babies. But I'm gonna go with Marnie. The Marnie song is probably my favorite right now, at least right now.
Dave, I was gonna say Mickey, you know, as in Mickey Mouse, as in that voice you do
Oh
for that
boy.
one,
Oh boy,
that meme.
the Mickey Momo.
Hating adventure, are we?
Can't believe.
It's never
Dead
gonna go
meme.
away.
Dead meme.
Sorry, Sam, except not really. Shoutouts to Sam's Mickey Mouse Station.
Yeah.
Shout out to wireless batteries.
Shout out
Wireless
to Lil
batteries.
Boulder for not saying that anymore after this.
Yeah.
Shout out to
I'll
large
never do it
boulders the
again.
size of little boulders.
I'll never do it again.
Shoutouts to you for watching the video because you somehow decided to stay this long.
Yeah, I wouldn't have.
We
stayed
haven't
this
even made
long.
it to the main topic.
Ah,
I mean, we can get to the main topic now if we don't have any more questions. You guys have anything else? Jared, do you
I'm
have any
good.
questions?
how did I get this far?
Yeah.
Why do
You're
people
really
listen to
cool
my
and
stuff?
talented and awesome.
I don't know about that, but thank you. Thank you very much. I will say
You
though.
better believe it.
I will say though that so at the moment one of my favorite songs that I've worked on is one that's not published. I have an original that I think is really nice, and I have a remix of Ruby Illusions, orchestrated.
Oh, I love that one.
It's Sonic related, so you know it's good.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, look forward to that at some point. Whenever I stop being lazy and stop playing my funny anime game.
You heard it here first, folks. Lil Boulder is a weeb, and also there's new music coming.
Yay! Eventually.
Good news for both then.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
All right. Do you guys want to get into the main topic then?
Yeah,
Sure.
let's do it.
Okay. So for this episode of the podcast, it's like sort of similar to what we did in the first episode. Now that I'm thinking about it, but instead of inventing a new entry to a series that has been gone for a while, I've instead posed the question to our wonderful co-hosts today.
Which I just found out about, by the way.
I showed you this yesterday, I think.
And I completely
And
forgot.
you ignored it. So this looks like Frank in the first episode, where I gave him the topic in advance, and he was like, "Yeah, but I need to think about it more." But, I was like, "Well, why did I give it to you in advance?" But so what we're doing
Wireless
is
batteries.
any game that's ever come out. You could pick any game that has come out in the past, whenever. Who cares? I don't fucking care. You could pick Pong if you wanted. If it either got a total remake, or you could just go back and change it in its entirety into something else, what would you do? Like, for example, if you wanted to pick Sonic 06, what would you do? I'm not gonna do that because I
Cop
already
out.
did it in a video. So
Cop out.
who wants to go first?
Sure, why not?
Okay, Frank.
Somebody more prepared go.
Yeah.
Well, this is just because I had just played this game. I'm gonna go with the Mario 64. I'm gonna have to
You better
the
watch
one
yourself.
The one thing I would do is change it to Mario Sunshine. No, the one thing I would actually do is
How
change it.
dare you!
We're off to a great start. Let's go.
I would have changed it to Mario Galaxy.
You
Actually,
know, you're gonna
know.
notice
That's
that
better,
Frank's
better.
audio track is not in this episode at all, mysteriously, because of that comment.
I have been kicked out. I've been kicked off the podcast. No, one thing I would do, and it would just make a huge difference, and would prevent a lot of mistakes, is fixing the turning when you're running. I think Mario just runs at way too wide. It just has way too wide of a turn whenever you're just trying to get around to something. And I feel like just making it a bit more narrow would really make the game more enjoyable.
Okay.
His controls are very slippery.
I would also take a TikTok clock and burn it.
I feel that.
Yeah, okay.
Just
I can take that.
get rid of that. Rainbow
Rainbow
Ride?
Ride. Fuck
Rainbow,
that.
Rainbow Cruise.
That can go straight to hell. Let's see. I would also fix the Bowser throwing, when you spin, so that we have more of a, either have it be more responsive or just have some kind of better way of knowing exactly where you're going to throw Bowser, because it seems like sometimes you'll miss him because when you try to let him go, it seems like it's either too far to the left or too far to the right, and you're just wondering. But I aimed directly at the bomb.
Have you been playing the Switch version a lot lately?
I've played the Switch version. I've played on the Nintendo 64.
The Switch version has input delay, on a lot of things, including Bowser throws. Like, I've noticed that because I'm usually really good at them, and on the Switch version I kept missing by like a little bit, and I think it's because there's some button delay.
Okay, I'm ready to change my answer now. Mario 3D All-Stars and Galaxy 2, and get rid of that stupid limited time release. There, done.
I feel that. This isn't my section, but I just want to add on. Please change how Mario turns.
That was basically what what my big suggestion was for that game.
My God. He flies himself off a cliff when you turn the analog stick in the opposite direction.
Oh, and since we're going to 3D All-Stars, add an option for 60 FPS for Mario 64, also 16:9 widescreen.
Fuck yeah.
You can have it as option. You can have it as an option, or you can have like a retro mode where it's just the original. So there you go.
Add
Nintendo,
an
that
option
one's
to
free.
toggle the original version and not the Shindo version too.
That too, Nintendo. Those are free.
Those
Put 'em in
are
updates.
free.
Add an option to make the game actually have some effort put into it. The collection,
That's a
that
good
is,
point.
not the original.
Got to be grateful.
But hey, they updated Sunshine, so now that the starting race sound effect is back.
Oh, and we don't have debug cubes anymore.
Yeah.
Cool.
Dolphin doesn't either.
I mean, Dolphin hasn't had it for a while, but
Yeah.
I mean, what Dolphin? There's no Dolphin.
Hey man,
And
Nintendo's
Dolphin.
a small indie company. Give them a break.
Now, Dolphin, you can play Super Mario Sunburn. Better.
Dylan, don't talk about that stuff, okay?
Why?
You're
Getting
starting to let
sunburns?
it.
Bro,
No, you're-
look,
Ow, they hurt.
Dude.
Ow, I need aloe. Ow.
bro.
Dylan,
bro.
you're slipping. Cut it out.
Ow.
Dude,
Aloe.
dude,
I get it.
dude. They're gonna come. They're gonna
Okay,
come
you
in
guys-
and
you
take the
guys go
wireless
ahead.
batteries. You just
I'm
gotta
not-
stop.
God.
All right, smartass, you go next then.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
One game I'd change. Oh boy, this is an interesting question. I didn't really think about
Alright,
it.
cool. Dylan, your turn.
No, I'm just kidding. Crash Bandicoot 3.
Well, I never would have seen that coming.
Trouble with
Crash
the trolley,
Bandicoot 3. Crash Bandicoot 3.
Okay.
What would you change?
Everything, actually.
Really?
I'd change everything
wow.
about it.
You
Yeah.
mean, are you talking about Warped?
Yeah, I'm talking about Warped.
Really?
But you
Because
like
2
Warped.
is the better one. No, 2
Well,
is
2
the
is definitely
superior
better.
one.
Yeah.
I like the because Warped feels like it's holding your hand too much, if I'm being honest. The platforming challenging areas aren't as much as they are there. If that makes sense.
Yeah. No,
Like
definitely.
and it's mostly just vehicle levels.
Oh god, yeah. I can
That's
feel
the
that.
reason
Vehicle
I dislike it
levels
more than
were just. That's the reason you liked it, or
I disliked it more than 2.
yeah. There's so many vehicle levels, and the water levels aren't really that interesting. I would keep it flowing with the same story, but I would change up how they'd approach levels. I would put in more challenges for the levels. I feel like they did a really good job at balancing out the normal levels, but when it came to vehicle levels, I felt like there was too much of an abundance of a difference, because you got the jet ski, you got the planes, you got the annoying motorcycle levels, and I guess you could count the underwater levels as vehicle levels because they have the little like underwater scuba
Yeah,
diving
those are
thing.
vehicle levels.
I did not like those.
They're terrible.
Trying to think what else. Yeah, I would just cut down on vehicle levels. Maybe like one per world, because it felt like every world had like at least 3 of them.
Dude, where were you when they were making Crash Bandicoot Wrath of Cortex?
Wrath
Because
of
they thought the
Cortex.
exact
That-
opposite. They're like, every level's a vehicle level.
No, yeah, no. Wrath of Cortex. Wrath of Cortex like amplified Crash 3.
Department of Motor Vehicles.
See, here's the thing. Dave said that he would change Crash 3 because it can still be saved.
It can be saved.
Crash 4 is a lost cause. Not back in, about time.
Not it's about time, but Wrath of Cortex.
Wrath of Cortex.
Wrath of Cortex is
Wrath of
a
Cortex
lost
can't be
cause.
saved.
Yeah, depends on who you ask, because some people will praise Wrath of Cortex and be like, "Oh, you're paid to trash. It's about time."
Listen, Wrath of Cortex
I know
is
somebody
just
who
not
I'm
the
just-
worst
okay,
game in the
hold
world.
on,
It's
hold
just
on,
that
hold
Since
on.
there's so many vehicle levels, it's like
Vehicle.
really...
It's not even that. It's not even that. But once you get to the monkey bar parts, like the climbing speed is 0. You know what I'm talking about, Dylan?
Yeah, I do know what
did
you're
well.
talking about, but I'm not gonna talk anymore because people are gonna keep making fun of me.
No, just like, so in Crash 2, there's grates in the sewer levels that you jump on and then you like climb across. That goes a decent speed. In Crash Wrath of Cortex, there's grates, but when you climb on them, it's like, I don't know, your hands are in tar or something.
You're suspended from
And
tar
you're
from
just
your
so
hands.
you're so slow. And I think there's a space
Just stuck
station
in some
level
kind
in
of
Wrath of
epoxy.
Cortex where you have to like jump to another section. There's like a gap, but you have to jump from the grates over to the other section, and you're just going so slow. There's a momentum to build up, so you can keep the momentum when you jump, and you just plummet to your death.
It's stupid. It's so dumb.
It's very mind-boggling. It gives me a headache. But
That's the real offense here.
yes. Crash
How dare
3
you.
more challenging levels, limit how many vehicle levels are. I'd probably say well no, they made that change in the Insane Trilogy where you could technically play as Coco in every level. Not really.
Most levels.
Most levels.
It's like she couldn't do any of the Crash
I would have
specific
loved to
vehicle
have
ones.
seen a polar level. I mean, sure you got Pura, but like you could have thrown in a polar level as well. I don't know. There's a lot.
Well, they
there's a
threw
lot
in the
you could've done
polar
with it.
opposite in Crash.
Yeah, the polar
Wrath
opposite.
of Cortex.
And I would have made Entropy the final boss.
You really like intro.
Entropy's they like in Crash 4. It's about time they gave Entropy his magnum opus.
Sonic Tail.
So
That's your
Crash.
magnum opus.
Crash Tail.
when you guys were talking about entropy, I was gonna say I don't want to interrupt you, but don't ever make a pun like that again.
Hey,
You're the one who
talking
said
to
it.
yourself. He's talking
Polar
to himself.
opposite. That
Oh,
fucking
Yeah.
Oh,
hurt.
I thought you were gonna say don't entrope me.
Yeah.
That is what I said.
Okay,
Don't.
just so we're on
Good
the
job.
same page. Because that hurt coming out of my
That-
mouth.
That
All
that
the
was
same
that was
pod.
the joke.
That was
Dylan.
too far even for me apparently. Like I feel bad about that. Like I'm going to hell now.
meet you there.
But yeah, that's what I changed.
Just get the vehicle ready.
There's nothing wrong with me. I'm a good person. You don't have to do this.
Does it run on?
You're
does
right,
it, does
but
it does it
I
run on
was taking
wireless
a sip
batteries?
of my coffee. I was
This is the
It
longest
wouldn't be me
episode of
if-
the podcast ever because it's just bullying me all over. And over.
It wouldn't be okay. Well, two things. One, it wouldn't be a long ass podcast if I wasn't on it, and two, it wouldn't be me if I wasn't bullying you.
That's true. You're a fucking bully,
I believe it.
All right.
know. and I don't deserve it at all. I
Who's
didn't do anything
next?
ever to anyone.
Sometime.
Who's
never.
next?
You're it.
What's up?
Gonna go next.
I had my original answer. I changed it. I changed
Okay.
it because my original answer was Persona 4, but then I realized I don't want to change anything about it. I just want it to be remade because I love
Just
that.
wanted to be remade.
I just love that game. I just want it to be back and
Down for
shiny
that.
and new.
Maybe there'll be a nice texture mod coming soon.
Yeah.
It
That would
already
be
looks
cool.
a lot better on the PC than it did the
I
PC.
just
yeah, for
want
sure.
Persona the Insane Trilogy.
That'd be insane.
But then, anyway. But then I thought about it and I was like, no,
Oh.
my
That wasn't intentional.
I think Dylan, bullshit. You were enjoying that.
That wasn't intentional. It wasn't
But,
intentional.
I get it. Anyway, but my
And-
actual
and-
It's
answer
getting
This.
intense.
is a really obvious one, and some people disagree with me, and I think those people are crazy. Is Sonic Unleashed? I would rip the werehog out like a failing organ
Oh yeah.
and save
Preach
the body.
it!
No, the werehog is good though.
I would rip the werehog out like a failing organ, save the body, and then zip him
Ugh.
right back up. Actually, it's not even just the werehog though. It's the werehog as well as the level progression system, the medallion hunting.
Yeah, fuck that.
Hunting.
Yeah, I hate that.
There's so many things about Unleashed that are just don't need to be there. The game is so much longer than it has any right to be because Sega thought that long games are what they needed to sell games.
And at some point ran like crap. Actually,
Yeah.
no, still does.
Yeah, and coincidentally, my favorite stage and probably my favorite stage in all of modern Sonic history actually is Jungle Joyride Daytime.
I was waiting for that.
That thing
But,
runs at like 1 frame per second.
But yeah, you can't run that on
Unless you have a Series X.
Haha.
Haha.
Aha.
But
It took 2 generations, but now we have.
we
a
got
power
we got it there eventually.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Yeah.
we got him.
I think my opinion on Unleashed is a very polarizing one. To bring it back to the polar puns, because it's nowadays it's a game that a lot of people are very fond of. When it was released and sometime before the last 2 years, it was a much more controversial game than it is today. And I have my own theories for why that is, but that's not what this podcast is about. So yeah, I would make a lot of changes. I don't like the Werehog at all. I think the daytime stages are fantastic. I even think they're better. Some of them are way better than ones that even came in Generations colors.
Yeah.
I think the daytime Unleashed stages are extremely well designed, and it's clear that that's what the focus was. The developers made those stages, and they're like, "Yeah, this is working. Like we're getting this. We're figuring this out."
Yeah, shit, but the game's 15 minutes long.
The
What do
game's
we do?
15 minutes long. What do we do? So they made a 40 to 60 minute stage at the end of the game, which I think is absolutely unforgivable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Imagine giving a platforming game an hour-long stage. Imagine that.
I feel like
Imagine.
I got through that in like 45 minutes my first time through, and I didn't even get like an E. Like I got like a grade higher than E, so I was like, really, 45 minutes?
God, that stage was a nightmare. And of course, people will be like, "Oh, you're just bad at it." Maybe, but I also think that it's poorly designed.
I don't
Jared's
usually
so
agree
angry
with the
he
whole.
threw something across the
My water
table.
bottle just fell off my desk.
That's yeah.
He's fucking done with this.
I never go with the you must be bad at, like if somebody were to tell me you're bad at it, I was like, no, fuck off, that was terrible.
Yeah. It's like, you know what, there are some games that I am not great at. I don't think Sonic is a game that I am bad at, though. Because I played so goddamn much of it, for better or for worse. And just Unleashed, I don't like it. Unleashed is one of the only
I don't
Sonic
like it
games that
either.
I refuse to play, like from start to finish again.
Yeah, I'm in the
And
same boat. Because I
with-
told
with-
Maxie I would give him $50 if I ever played it again, so I can't play it again.
Yeah.
I'm currently in the boat where it's like, I don't want to play this until I get a Series X because I want to try that out.
Yeah, I mean, even then, I wouldn't want to. That's to me why the Unleashed project is such a godsend, because it's just the best parts. And
Yeah.
sure, the engine isn't as polished as it is in Unleashed. Like there's some things that are just not as quite as solid or as good as it is on the original stages and whatnot. But to me, as long as I get to play those stages without any of the extra baggage, I'm happy.
You so like it still has Werehog, but do you find the Werehog less terrible in the SD versions?
In the SD,
Standard
Standard.
definition.
you mean
Like
the Wii version?
like the
Wii and the PS2 version.
Yeah,
PS2.
that's like because the Xbox 360 and PS3 are high definition.
Oh yeah.
So it's like.
Well, I
maybe
never
it's the standard.
played those versions, so I can't say.
okay.
They're interesting.
They are.
They control
The
differently.
Wii version,
but-
the Wii version's a little more mindless since you don't have like all of the combos that you could get.
Like
you have
a
like a
flailing
few.
inflatable arm flailing tube man.
Exactly. You basically play the game like that.
You can play with the GameCube
yeah.
controller though, I think.
Yeah, you can.
So,
Yeah.
you
Or a
don't
classic
have to
controller.
use but the thing about the Werehog, and not to derail this further, because I think we can have a whole podcast about Sonic Unleashed.
Oh, for sure.
Sonic
The
in
thing about
general, we can make several
the
podcasts.
The GameCube. The Wii and
Yeah.
PS2 version is they take out the metal collecting. So you don't
Yeah.
need to do any of that. And also, what they do is they break up the Werehog sections, so you're not playing a level for like 25 minutes straight. You
Yeah.
are instead playing like several segments back to
Yeah.
back. So like it still feels like there's more Werehog than regular Sonic, but it at least feels like you're accomplishing more, which I
Yeah.
can get behind.
It's just crazy to me. Like the daytime stages, there's so much going on, and you end up in like a totally different place from where you started. Like with
Oh,
Jungle
yeah.
Joyride, you start off in like on the beach with these huts and such. You end up like deep in a Mayan forest, And stuff like that is super cool to me. It really does feel like you're going on this huge adventure, on this
Sonic World
long-ass
Adventure.
journey. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
But then you get to the other side of the
Sonic
Warthog,
World.
and it's just slow. It's boring. It's not fun. It sucks. And it's so much longer, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it's the balance of the game is really, like, it feels like a 70-30. Like, where I feel like it
does.
should have been a 50-50.
Not even. It should have
Or
been a
maybe
100.
100.
100-0.
God, Unleash is so disappointing to me.
The thought process on that is like they were just coming off of Sonic 06. They're like, all right, we need a new gameplay style to see if we can get people to like Sonic again. So let's just have a beat 'em up and also gameplay that you could say is definitely Sonic. Maybe they'll like one of those. And it's like, yeah, we
Something
did like
that's
the
Sonic
one.
and let's play.
We did like that one.
Oh, hey, you in the back. How's that God of War game?
All right. I think we're taking way too much time on Sonic Unleashed.
Alright, yeah. That's the one that I would choose. I just want Persona 4 to be remade because I love that game. But I
Yes.
want Sonic Unleashed to be gutted because that game infuriates me.
Scoop
Anyway,
it all out.
scoop it all out.
Persona 4
scoop it
remake,
out
but
like-
remove the Hollow Forest.
There you go. Okay, yeah, that too.
That's how you do it.
Alright, Dylan.
Dylan.
All right. So my the thing I would remake is batteries. I would make them wireless.
All right.
That's the show, everyone.
Solid callback. Ba-da-bam, ba-da-bam.
All right. Anyway, the game I had in mind from the beginning was actually now that I have two, but the first one that I was thinking about more was Mario and Luigi Paper Jam,
Oh god, yeah, that's a good one.
because I've gone on record plenty of times saying that Mario and Luigi and Paper Mario are two of my favorite game series ever. And when they announced the crossover at E3 that one year, I think it was E3 2014 or 15, I actually was sitting in my living room crying because I was like, this is like everything I've ever wanted. I was like, this could be one of the greatest things Nintendo ever makes. But it wasn't, because they didn't do jack shit. Like, it is not a crossover game. That is a Mario and Luigi game that has Paper Mario in it. Like, it is so disappointing, because, like, I was, like, going on the internet, I was like, oh my god, what if they have, like, some returning partner characters, and, like, you know, Paper Mario and one of his partners, like, you could switch them out, like, in Paper Mario, and, you know, like, then you also have Mario and Luigi doing their thing. Or what if they have, like, you know, certain characters in both series are not around anymore, like Fawful? Like, what if they get Paper Fawful? Like, what if Paper Fawful comes out of the book, and then you have, like, a real-world Dimentio, and, like, it's like, now they're both back, and you can use them again, because, like, maybe they have counterparts in the paper world and non-paper world, vice versa, and it's like, you could just do crazy shit like that, or call back to the best parts of both series, and it could have just been mind-blowing. Like, I'm not even exaggerating. Like, it could have been the coolest thing they ever did. But it was in the middle of the creativity drought, so they didn't do shit. So, the things that I'm thinking about for that are, scrap the entire story. Fuck that. It was stupid.
Yeah.
Scrap the new mechanics, because most of them were boring, and they were just basically more Mario and Luigi stuff, and it didn't really feel like a crossover. And I think what they should have done, if they don't go with the Paper Mario having partners, which I think would probably be a better way to go, like, my thing was either give him Paper Luigi, so it's a real Mario and Luigi game, like, that's, like, the aspect of it, you know, Paper Mario and Paper Luigi. It's kind of like a parallel, because it is.
Yeah.
Or, I mean, like, the partners thing, it's like, I was like, okay, maybe he meets characters in the real world that start functioning like his characters, his partners.
Mario and Luigi IRL.
Yeah, Mario and Luigi IRL. Mario and Luigi go to Burger King.
Not Wendy's.
Yeah, not Wendy's. Because we wouldn't do that to you.
I would love to meet Mario and Luigi at my job.
Alright, I'll send them there after. Maybe they're gonna be around for a couple days, so maybe they can go there after. But, like,
Yeah.
so, give Paper Mario partners, and have most of the overworld stuff, I think, be more reliant on partner abilities, and have the partners interact not just with Paper Mario, but with also Mario and Luigi. I think it'd be really interesting to have characters like, you know, characters that would usually be villains in the Mario and Luigi series join their side, because there's not a whole lot of cases where enemy characters in that game are helping you, which I think could be a nice switch up, and would also call back to more Paper Mario, because, you know, like, There are fucking, like, hardly any Paper Mario references in that whole game. So, that could be fun. I think in battle... They had this thing in the main game where Paper Mario could copy himself and not take damage. And, like, he would do more damage because he had copies. And I'm just saying, throw that shit out and just have him be, like, a glass cannon. So, like, you need to work really hard to protect him with Mario and Luigi and the partners. And maybe have, like a system where they can't dodge attacks, but maybe Mario and Luigi can, like, tank damage for him. And you need to kind of, like, play it smart. You're like, okay, can I risk it with Mario and Luigi? Like, so maybe if they go down, it's harder to get them back up. But you don't want Paper Mario to go down because he's dealing a lot of damage. Or
Yeah.
It's just been, like, interesting. You know? Like, they could have done so much. But they didn't. And I think that's always what makes a game more disappointing than, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, when it comes out, when it could have potential, and then people go, but it's got so much potential, and I go, yeah, but I don't care, because they didn't use it.
Yeah.
Not gonna make me respect it more.
Too. So it's really disappointing that it's gone down the way it has.
Yep, and now it might never come back, which is the thing that breaks my heart.
I guess we'll have to see.
That's the thing that always hits me, because, like, whenever a new game for a series comes out, you ever just, like, hold it in your hands or look at it in your library and be like, this could be the last game they ever make, and we might never know until later.
The thing that always hits me is the soccer ball whenever I'm playing.
All
right, well.
There's something that also hits me, you know?
The feels.
The feels that, batteries are wireless.
The podcast is over. Ending the podcast.
I literally had some batteries sitting on my desk.
Did they fall off in rage?
No, I just picked them up and I was looking at them for the past minute.
It's got the same energy as me waiting to do that joke last time. You're just like, when do I say it? When
do I say it?
The iCarly joke.
But no. He sounded so happy when he was saying it.